My video essay topic is why, since post COVID, more focus is laid on biophilic or sensory designs. But first, let's understand the term biophilic. Biophilia is definitely not a new concept. The term biophilia was coined by humanistic philosopher Erich Fromm in 1964. Conservationist Edward O. Wilson popularized it in the mid 1980s. For Wilson, he described as humanity's innate tendency to focus on life and lifelike processes, and to be drawn toward nature and feel an affinity for it. Derived from the word biophilia, which in ancient Greek translates to the love of life, the biophilic design creates environments anchored in multisensory experiences and the integration of elements such as organic shapes, natural materials, plants, fresh air, daylight, or water based on the belief that humans need a connection to nature to thrive. As the human-centered approach was born out of the idea that humanity's innate need for connection with nature has suffered through the process of urbanization and technological advancement, leading to growing cultural unrest, increased stress, and heightened anxiety seemingly at every turn. In a COVID-19 world, this increased stress feels more present than ever.
People would have realized the importance of biophilic designs or the sensory stimulus in our daily lives.
Yeah, I do. I think it's already a movement. For me, human beings are all biophilic.
Did you at any point find yourself exploring nature trails, taking extra walks, or conducting Zoom meetings in your backyard? If so, you are a likely part of the reason was that you needed a view that was somehow different than the walls of your home office. But there's also likely a bigger, more subconscious reason: biophilia. Biophilia addresses our needs to commune with nature, whether we realize it or not.
For me, I think the big difference is that what happened during this pandemic is that people started to become aware, people started to awaken, to get in touch themselves with what was already there.
With such an abrupt and complete disruption to our lives, the craving for nature and the outdoors naturally intensified, along with the related anxiety and uncertainty about the future. Biophilic design has been trending strongly for several years, but its importance was heightened for many of us during the height of the pandemic. With nature's proven impact on our mental health, could the principles of biophilic design hold the key to creating sustainable, soothing, and mentally stimulating spaces in the post pandemic future? As defined by Professor and author Dr. Stephen R. Kellertus, biophilic design is an innovative approach that emphasizes the necessity of maintaining, enhancing, and restoring the beneficial experience of nature in the built environment. Utilizing multisensory design to enhance our connection to nature is changing the way we live, work, learn, and heal. Architecture and design professionals will be pushed to find new ways to create future-proof, health and wellness-focused spaces suitable for isolated living in the event a pandemic strikes again. As we consider options to return to public spaces, it is paramount for us to incorporate health and well-being as ultimate drivers.
Well, I
Into
think I think the owners of these huge properties with these different spaces are going to have to look at places like Singapore,
Mhm.
and it's not going to be difficult because it's already done. It's already in process.
While our ever-changing world can produce much uncertainty, one thing remains the same: our buildings have a direct impact on our psychological, biological, and sociological well-being. A decisive turn to green architecture and living spaces that promote wellness through a connection with the natural world has been a key driver in creating sustainable environments that improve the quality of life of the occupants. Biophilia is more than just a philosophy. Biophilic design has been found to support cognitive function, physical health, and psychological well being. And biophilia itself being a big umbrella of topics, there are certain branches associated to it, like attention restoration theory, um, sustainability, circadian rhythm. So, what are your thoughts on these theories and its association with biophilia?
For example, the swallows,
Yeah.
the the sound, the pattern, the same thing's happening up in the air as is happening in the water. There are circadian rhythms, whether it's underwater or in air, that are already there. There's a rhythm when the grass hits each other, and there's a sound that happens. There's waves.
Yeah.
There's the little sardines when they're in huge numbers because a whale's coming and they form these huge groups. And how does all that happen? How do they know exactly how to keep themselves that militude,
Yeah.
away, and it's there, it's already there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just have to learn. We have to be open. We have to see. We have to be willing to look.
Continuing to that, how can one implement biophilic design aspects into a space?
There's 143 different principles and elements of biophilia. I'm currently in the States doing a project for a stone house. What I'm doing currently is, doing tiles that I'm, with water and then kilning them and bringing the element of water and plant patterns
Yeah.
into a bathroom, for example. There are ways that you can incorporate the elements without, I think it's a bit cliche. It's all about the plants. Vertical walls is biophilic. It's an aspect of it, but it's not the whole of it.
The benefits of this design approach cover a range of health and cognitive function. Beyond improving well-being, biophilic design can also compound creativity, aid clarity of thought, and reduce stress. It's been applied with great success in environments where occupants spend extended periods, such as workplaces, educational facilities, health facilities, and residential dwellings. In those contexts, the integration of natural elements helps improve cognitive performance, productivity, well-being, and assist faster recovery. And as indicated in 14 patterns of biophilic design by Terrapin White Grain, it can improve the well-being credentials of a space through a variety of elements and experiences. For instance, a Japanese study comparing physical and emotional responses to viewing wood versus steel panels found that wood was associated with decreased depression and blood pressure, having both physiological and psychological advantages over steel. But how does one be aware?
It's got to start from root level. And it'll be a push upward rather than downward.
Yeah.
So, if we can get the schools doing it, we can get the politicians pushing from the top, incorporating it.
Considering all the aspects of biophilic design, especially after COVID, is this economically viable for every one of us to implement biophilia into everyday spaces of living?
So it is expensive, but I think the weighing scale has to weigh towards, do you want to have that life or do you want to have that life? What is a lot of work. It's time consuming. It's bringing a lot of thought and attention and awakening them to it and saying, look, open your eyes. Can you see,
With the post-COVID-19 future uncertain, architects, designers, and specifiers are looking to new and innovative ways of designing environments for our new reality. As biophilic design offers a reliable framework to incorporate the benefits of nature into the built environments, it could help us create dwellings of the future where we can function in happily. The indirect incorporation of nature allows designers to propose visual and tactile cues that mirror organic patterns, textures, and colors to elevate stress and improve comfort. This offers certain sustainable and practical benefits, especially where using natural materials might pose a challenge. As the human population grows and access to wilderness becomes limited, incorporating nature into the built environment becomes increasingly important so that the inherent connection between humans and nature is not lost. Biophilic design is not just good for us, it's necessary. Bringing aspects of the natural world into spaces can bridge the gap to the outdoors and benefit our well being. As you are probably aware by now, biophilic design represents a design philosophy and principles that encourage the use of natural systems and elements of nature such as plants, water, and natural lighting, whether for workplace or commercial purposes. Although still in its pioneering stage, the benefits of biophilic design that are felt in everyday life in different manners suggest that this type of design will become widespread. If not for the tactile benefits of it, then for the inner urge we have as a human race share to reconnect with nature again. Lastly, while taking the interview of the biophilic designer Harleen McLean from Harleen McLean Interiors, her saying, "Human beings are all biophilic," strongly hit my head, and what I learned was that it is all about observing and listening closely to nature. And it also made me conscious to look around and be inspired from nature, be it anything. Hence, biophilia is not a trend but the long term future of architecture and design.